So yesterday I set up a function called PRD to print the repository directory with coloring to show you where the repo starts and then path within the repo. So for example, if I turn on Option Command I here, instead of iterm, I have two different directories opened up. I can type in PRD and run this command both on top and on bottom. You can see down below, I'm sitting inside of a composed GitHub repo. So here is the repo from GitHub. And then I have within the repo, I'm in the docs directory. So if, for example, if I go into the bin directory, well, that's not going to work on top. Let me stop doing that. And I do my PRD again. There you go. You can see I'm sitting inside the bin directory. And I don't know if there's anything inside of here. I could go into build and PRD again. And I'm sitting inside of bin/build. So I can see the part that is clearly within the repository versus the path where the repository resides on disk. The only issue is, and you can see this up above here, when I ran PRD and I'm not inside of a repository, I do get the path here. This is correct, but I get this fatal error here when I try to run a git command to be able to figure out what the prefix is to show that. So I'm getting an error here. I obviously don't want that. I'd like to just see the path when I'm not inside of a git repo. And in that case, it can just all be a single color. All right, so I'm going to clear all this out with Option Command I, Command K. And I'll leave the multiple input mode to send input to all panes open because I'm going to hop over to my code here. And you can see the issue is going to be when I call git and then ask for the prefix, which is the path within the repository. So if I just paste this command here and run this in both places, down below that works to get me bin/build. Up above here, you can see I get the fatal error. So one thing I'm thinking that I could do, when I call the get rev parse, I could send any standard error to dev/null. That way I don't get any error messages. There's probably also some sort of quiet option to rev parse, but let's just use this for now. We'll redirect standard error to dev null. And let's see what that looks like. Command K to clear both sides. Now I need to reload my config because I just changed it. I just set up a button to do this. It will run a reload config and then clear the screen. So I can now do PRD and we can see what the new code looks like. All right, that looks good. So now when I'm not inside of a Git repo, this will actually work to just print out the path. Oh, and by the way here, the changes that I've made, you can see these inside of the .files GitHub repo. So you can add all that, see the change we made. You can go ahead and check that in and we'll say, put in a quick message, commit that, and then I can push that. And if you want, you can go grab the source code for this repository out on GitHub. There you go. You can see the changes here, and that commit should be the last one that was pushed. So any of the changes I'm making, you are welcome to hop out to my .files repo and take a look at the actual final result and pull that into your own configuration.